Welcome to another episode, everyone. Some Bloods and Crips ran during a riot, and they were demolished, pulverized, brutalized for running out. This really happens often there in prison and in the county jail. The people that you least expect, the people that will have you buffaloed and believing that they are solid individuals. When the shit hits the fan, you will find them running. I've seen dudes jump over bunks to run, hiding under bunks, hiding under tables, running across the yard, trying to hop a gate, you name it. And some of the individuals you will look at in shock when this transpires, because these individuals at one time had you in awe with their prowess, their gang-banging fortitude, have you believing that they are strong, solid individuals from top to bottom. And when you run during a riot or a melee or whatever it may be, they're going to clean you up. So you have what we call a cleanup. And it happens after nearly every riot or melee. Not everyone, but nearly after everyone. Subsequent to the riot, there's a cleanup. Ensuing from the riot is a cleanup because someone or some persons did not perform during the riot. They ran, or they swung one or two times and then got down, whatever their section, their faction, it's their comrades believe that they didn't do what was right during the riot, that they left them for dead, that they didn't perform, particularly since you're around here on the yard putting it on like you big, bad, and almighty. We thought you was about to stab 10 people. But it didn't happen. We thought you were a wolf, only to find out you were a putty cat. Well, what to be done? In the riot that transpired in Centinela State Prison, not long before I paroled from there, where the Bloods and the Crips went at one another. I brought you the story. Well, there was an immense cleanup after the fact. Some individuals on both sides did not perform according to the ethics and the doctrine, and had to be removed. They had to be cleaned up, if you will. But this story takes place in Lancaster State Prison, where I brought you the story of the Hispanic blood that hit the yard and it went up immediately. Bodies were lying across the yard on both sides. Speaking of which, let me make it clear that I've seen people run from every race, from both sides, during a riot, period. I've seen every race run or not perform the way they supposed to, do some old quick little shit so they can say that they didn't run and get the hell out of the way. You know, they didn't turn up at all or just outright ran. Didn't do nothing. Everyone, every race. I've seen it from everyone. And in Lancaster, when that shit kicked off, I told y'all that there were some individuals who did not perform. They ran. Now, it was vicious because the knives came out and bodies were dropping and blood was everywhere. And since blood is permeating the soil and individuals are witnessing this, well, they lost their stomach. Because it's all fun and games when you walking around looking and acting tough when you haven't been through anything. But now you're on the real yard. And the people that's coming for you when this shit kicks off, well, they're looking to end you. This is not a game. This is not the county jail where they're about to pack you out. They're trying to stick something big in your neck. And once you realize this, when the shit kicks off and you got people coming at you with bone crushers, swinging them, and you know that one hit in the wrong area, a vein, a vital area, the heart, and you're out of there, well, it's too much for some to bear. They become Usain Bolt. They get out of there. And in Lancaster, that's exactly what happened. The individuals who you least expect, it was a couple of Bloods and a couple of Crips that did not perform according to plan. They ran. Now, they had excuses as to why they ran. Some would say, I didn't necessarily run. I just turned around to get my footing. I just turned around and bagged up quickly. I wasn't running. I was walking fast. And I just turned around because I was trying to balance myself and get my equilibrium back. No. You ran. Maurice Green. Marion Jones. And when the shit kicked off in Lancaster, these dudes ran. That's the bottom line. There was nothing else. They ran because the bone crushers came out. And as I said, some riots are not as bad as others. There are knives, there's bloodshed, but some riots leave people dead or in critical condition. It depends on where you at and what the situation is or was. But some of the riots are, and when you see this, again, you don't have your gun. You're tough on the street with your gun. You're not in the module with 15 of your homeboys. You out there in that yard, you feel alone. You have your people right there with you, but you feel alone. It's every man for himself. Everybody trying to save themselves. Everybody got their thing and they backed up against it. They trying to save themselves. And when you feel this, if you can't take the pressure, you'll find yourself getting out of there, thinking that you can escape, that no one saw you because they were busy fighting for their lives. So they didn't see you when you ran. But you're always going to be exposed. Someone's always going to see you. And these dudes ran. And when the riot was over, with the Southsiders there in Lancaster, the blacks congregated as a whole and said what to do about these individuals that ran, that did not perform. They left us for dead. We have to send a message, a clear one, that it's best to just stay there and fight because you're not going to get any breaks. You're not getting away with anything when you run. You ruin your career, and you're still going to get it physically now from your car. And they're not going to take it light on you no more than the Southsiders would have. So you should have just stood there and fought. Let come what may. This is what we signed up for. But it's easier said than done. And everyone decided that they would take care of their own. The Crips would get the Crips that ran. The Bloods would attack the Bloods that ran. Well, it was one individual there that was a Blood, who everyone was disappointed in when the riot transpired, because he had everyone believing, including me, that he was a strong individual, that he was a solid individual. But I knew him from before. We were in other prisons before. They made it clear that he had ran out, that he couldn't take the heat when it kicked up. No one could believe it because everyone thought that this dude was solid. And so they really wanted his head. The Bloods really wanted his head because they felt like he had embarrassed them. And they got a hold of that dude, man, and they brutalized him. They stabbed him in the face. They stabbed him in the neck. He was out there unconscious. They beat him. They brutalized him. They demolished him, talking to him while they're doing it because they were so upset. You ran out. Coward. And they own him. Everyone is cleaning up their backyard for the individuals that did not perform during the riot. You have the removals, you have the riot, and then you have a cleanup. The Crips did the same thing. They didn't disappoint. The individuals that ran out, that did not perform up to what they believe their standards are, they brutalized them. Immediately. They didn't hesitate, they didn't waste any time. Once you are weeded out, once you are found out, you may escape for a while if you're not a solid individual, but something is going to expose you. A situation is going to happen where the true you is going to manifest. It's just going to happen behind the bars. And once you're weeded out, the individuals don't want you around them anymore. They're solid. They stood there in a riot and fought, risked their lives, and you ran out on them. You're a liability. Why would we want you here? You're going to hurt us more than you're going to help us. And so you're going to get brutalized, pulverized when you run. You may as well. It's been the same thing when it's been melees. Let's say, a 5-on-5, Hoovers against the neighborhood. Let's say behind the bars or even in the county jail. And someone doesn't perform. Someone from the Hoovers or someone from the neighborhood, as far as they're concerned, man, you didn't do your stuff. Well, they gonna crash you. Once the melee is over, they finna crash you now and sully your reputation. You're gonna forever be known as someone who ran out, left your comrades for dead, a buster, a coward. It's not worth it. You might as well just stand there. It takes 20 years to build your reputation and 20 seconds to lose it. You may as well stand there and just fight. You have too much to lose, not just your tooth or your eye, but your reputation. And these individuals were brutalized and many more for turning into Usain Bolt when the shit hit the fan. Tough individuals. It ain't worth it. Just stay out. These dudes are not what they claim they are. Stay free, people.